Okay, dummies, listen up. Well, not really dummies, but those of us who, let's just say, aren't whizzes at math. I know it's something we all hate to think about, let alone sit down and really do. Taxes. Well, fear not. A book is now out called Taxes for Dummies. David Silverman joins us now to make this season a little less taxing. Good morning, David. Thank you for joining us
My
here.
pleasure.
Let's be honest. Can anyone really sit down and just use this book and get through their taxes, even if you don't have a flair for it?
Of course. This book was written for the folks who are intimidated by the other tax books. The other tax books are the size of the Manhattan phone directory, and they're very complicated. So for the average person who itemizes their deductions, might own a small business, might sell their home, and takes care of the everyday problems that the average person
has, so they can get through it.
Exactly.
So you actually walk us through it step by step.
We take you through it line by line in plain English, and I hope with a great deal of humor.
For dummies.
It's to make it less tense.
Do you think we're really dummies?
Well, if you feel that way, you should be mindful that Einstein was fond of saying that the most complicated thing he ever encountered was the income tax.
Oh, so that makes me feel a little better.
So if you feel that way, you're in good company.
All right, let's just say that you're not ready to do this, maybe next year, and you want to hire somebody this year. What are the tips of hiring a tax preparer?
Well, you should, number one, check their qualifications. Only an enrolled agent or CPA or an attorney can represent you at all levels of the IRS. The second thing you want to check is, what does your fee cover? Does it cover audits, additional consultations, IRS notices? Who's actually going to do the work? Are you going to meet with the senior partner of the firm when, in fact, your file is going to be handed off to somebody a lot
more junior?
And who can you speak to after April 15th if you have a question? Are you going to end up on someone's voicemail, or is there a real live professional you can call up and say, hey, I got a notice from the IRS? Because the IRS sends out an awful lot of notices. And if the IRS wants to become your pen pal, you need to speak to somebody.
So you have to see how available they're going to be, and if they're just going to write you off after you pay them the check.
And also, if they goof, who pays?
That's a good question.
If something goes wrong and there's additional tax owed, penalties and interest, will they stand behind their advice that they gave you?
What is the right answer for that? Should they say, we cover it no matter what, or what can you honestly expect from them?
Well, it's a question, not so much what they will say, but you should check with other folks to find out, did you ever have a problem with this firm, and will they stand behind their work?
Can you negotiate the fee when you're seeing an accountant, or what they say is what it goes for?
Well, that's true. You should negotiate the fee and say, how much is this whole package going to cost me? And but the problem is, usually people don't ask the 5 questions that I just referred to. The only thing they want to know is the fee, and really you should know more about your tax preparer or your financial consultant than how much they're going to charge.
And I guess getting references is the best way to find somebody who's good.
Yes. You should find someone who's in your particular situation, who's satisfied with the person who's preparing their tax return.
There are also some computer systems out that will help you get through taxes. How do you feel about that?
Well, they're very good, but they might give you a false sense of security that you can tackle any problem with the computer. Now, the computer can't, or the software package, they can't go to an IRS audit for you.
Well, neither can your book.
Well, that's true. So the thing that you might want to do is buy a good software package, do a lot of the number crunching yourself so you can cut down on your fee, and then take the final result to a preparer and get a second opinion and sit down, so that way you don't cut yourself off from good, sound tax advice.
That sounds like a good deal to me. All right, David Silverman, good luck with your taxes. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Taxes for Dummies. Ken?